So World of Warcraft operates on a system of a subscription, which is what makes it one of the most expensive games you can ever play. Because instead of being a price, its price is a function of time. Let's look at how a new player might go about buying the game. So they would look at this big red button and say, okay, well, I want to buy this. False. That is buying the latest expansion, which gives you access to all previous expansions and this expansion. Now, each other previous expansion that they're probably going to release, well, there's one coming up in like 2020, Shadowlands right here. Let's actually check what's the pre-purchase for that actually. Oh, $80. Cool. That's if you want the best version. Uh, so okay, let's keep that in mind. Battle for Azeroth. Oh, what is that? Let's look at that. Oh, okay, $70. Interesting. But if you were like me and just bought this thinking you were buying the game like you would buy a normal game, you are mistaken because you need to buy a subscription as well with this game. Where do you find the subscription? Well, I don't know. Is there any information about this? Try free. That doesn't really allude to anything. Oh, there's a subscribe button. Ah, no, but that's for a WoW Classic. Uh, hmm. Let's just click on this anyway and find out that it's actually for the default World of Warcraft, not just a classic version, because they can't make websites and don't know how to line things up. So we look at this and we find out that the best deal is $13 a month. We go back to look at our graph. So as a function of time where you buy the base game, this is assuming you don't buy any new expansion that ever comes out. Ever. And so we look at this and we see that in a year you would end up having given Blizzard $226 about. That's a lot of money for playing a game for 1 year. But that's when you come to the realization that this is not game time. This is months. Time flies no matter what happens. So you're in a perfect world, let's assume you're only awake for like half of the time because you sleep 12 and are awake for 12. That'd be nice and a nice number to work with. So let's assume, you know, it's actually 6. So for 6 months, if you didn't have a job and only played World of Warcraft, 6 months of game time would be that amount. Now, that seems meh. That seems okay, I guess. But people have lives, and so it's quite a lot less game time. But the amount does not change. It doesn't care how long you're playing. That it just cares about the time of the universe. So we look at but having a subscription, just the subscription, for 1 year without any of the expansions is a lot of money. It's this much money. And if you would look at anything else, which is like, it's just so much. Let's look at another game. For example, we've got Minecraft. Now, Minecraft isn't the same genre of game, but let's say you wanted to buy Minecraft. Well, you'd go, excluding how terribly, how how annoying all the different versions are. Let's to go through the. Okay, well, nope, Bedrock sucks. Nope, nope. Mac, Java Edition. So the good version of the game. It's got $27. Now this is already less than one expansion of World of Warcraft, excluding the subscription. But let's look at how that would end up. Um, oh, and it also has a free trial version available. Cool. Uh, let's look at Minecraft. Let's be fair and treat it just like we did for World of Warcraft, because it's a video game. Uh, so function of time. Uh, After playing it for 1 month, it is $27. $27. Yes. Now that's quite reasonable. I'd say that's quite reasonable. Now this is probably the lifetime of the universe. I don't know. Um, but if we play it for that long, it's still $27, which is very interesting. It's super interesting. The Blizzard should probably research this because this concept is quite interesting. So anyway, uh, you'll notice that they don't make money over time. But is that enough for a company to not to just have a game that you buy and then you hold on to the product? Is that enough? Well, excluding the fact that a lot of people like to purchase multiple Minecraft accounts, let's assume that every single person on the planet buys Minecraft. This doesn't mean play, it just means buys. That would be the price times seven times about 8 billion, right? So that ends up being this, or uh, 200 sorry, 210 billion dollars. I think that's enough. 210 billion dollars. Now, obviously, not everybody is going to be playing the game, so there are other things you could do. And if this is just a team of one person, right? That's a lot of money. But Minecraft team is, it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of people, but not as much as like Blizzard, because Mojang is a relatively small company before it got bought by Microsoft. So, but this is a lot of money. This is quite reasonable. And it is also my opinion. I don't think it's too unreasonable to have completely optional cosmetic or like things that don't actually affect the gameplay if it was a competitive game, but completely optional microtransactions that you could buy if you were so inclined. I think that as long as it doesn't take away the base of the game, there isn't really a problem to it, and it could add a little bit more to that amount. Um, so let's look at for Blizzard, because Blizzard's quite money hungry. Let's assume every single person on the planet plays World of Warcraft for a year. Well, that ends up being $1 billion. Sorry, I'm dumb. That's $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. Blizzard has a bigger team. But let's say it's let's say it's times 5 years. Let's say everybody on Earth plays the game for 10 years. That is a number I can't even begin to comprehend. Let's go through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, what is that? That's million. That's $12 trillion. That's not enough, right? That's obviously not enough. And considering they have microtransactions on top of that, I think they'd be pretty fine. A little greedy, actually, if I may input my opinion here. So, what was the point of this video? Well, World of Warcraft is stupidly expensive, and no matter how much I want to play the game, there is no way I'm paying this amount of money. Even if I was employed, I wouldn't want to spend that much money because I'd be consuming I'd be wasting my money, wasting my value uh, every second that I'm not playing. Now you'd say, well, isn't this the case with all subscriptions? Yes, and that's why I don't like subscriptions, except the ones that are free. Please subscribe to me, anyways. Um, I don't like most subscriptions, but the case is that yeah, a lot of things in the world are subscriptions. You know, you've got taxes, which are essentially subscriptions, are as a function of time. You've got what else? You've got say um, probably your internet. You pay food. You know, food you consume it. A lot of stuff isn't infinite, but a lot of stuff can be, and a lot of stuff should be. It's better for the consumer. It's not too unreasonable on the producer. But a video game like World of Warcraft certainly does not need to be a subscription. Also, fun thing to note, Minecraft gets updates about every two updates every 2 years. Recently, they've been really big updates, so that's pretty cool. Sorry, gets two updates every year about. Meanwhile, World of Warcraft gets an expansion every. I get bored while talking, not my problem. I get bored listening to myself. Meanwhile, World of Warcraft gets an expansion about once every 2 years. Don't believe me? Let's look at World of Warcraft Wikipedia. Expansions. Nope, here it is. 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 20 to be determined. You know, this game has been around for 16 years. That's a long time. But I don't like the way that it's priced. I want to play it. It's a fun game sometimes. It's a little bit grindy. Like I don't really like the idea of basically being paying a subscription to do chores for virtual characters basically because you're completing quests non-stop. That's all you effing do in the game. But I really like the lore. The graphics aren't that bad, and it's not a bad game, but it's stupidly priced. It doesn't need to be priced that way. I'm gonna stop rambling before I put myself to sleep again. I hope this helped you understand how stupid World of Warcraft is, and have a good day.